Good evening and welcome to Africa Focus on KOW TV. My name is Maurice Mbugua. From the center of the action to the heart of the continent, we bring you the depth and the details behind the day's major development. These are the stories that matter, stories that impact. We begin tonight with a region on the brink as the conflict ignited by these weekend strikes on Iran has now ripped open another front in Lebanon. For the second straight day, Israeli jets have pounded the capital, Beirut. The Israeli military has framed these raids as a forward defense measure, positioning troops along the border to neutralize the threat from Hezbollah. While Israeli officials insist that this is a tactical measure rather than a full-scale ground invasion, the reality for civilians is one of total upheaval. Over 59 areas in Lebanon have received forced displacement notices, turning schools into crowded shelters for thousands of families fleeing the suburbs. The cycle of reprisal attacks has been swift. At dawn on Tuesday, Hezbollah launched a swarm of drones against the Ramat David base in northern Israel, claiming they successfully struck radar sites and control rooms. This escalation has placed the Lebanese government in a precarious position. Prime Minister Nawaf Salam's administration has declared Hezbollah's independent military activities illegal, calling on security forces to prevent any attacks originating from Lebanese soil. Hezbollah, however, has met this decree with defiance, arguing that the government is showing weakness in the face of a threat to national sovereignty. As the death toll from Monday's strike alone surpassed 50 people, the international community watches with growing apprehension, fearing that this tit-for-tat violence is rapidly evolving into a volatile regional firestorm. The heat of international pressure is also being felt in the Great Lakes region, where the United States has moved to dismantle its long-standing alliance with Rwanda. In a move that has sent shockwaves through Kigali, Washington has imposed sanctions on the Rwandan Defense Forces and top military officials over their involvement in the conflict in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. This decision marks a stunning reversal for President Donald Trump, who just months ago described a December peace deal as a great miracle. Washington now maintains that Rwanda has covertly backed M23 rebels in their capture of key cities like Uvira, sabotaging the very agreement the US brokered to secure critical minerals. While the Rwandan government has dismissed these sanctions as an unjust misrepresentation of the facts, the impact is undeniable. The move effectively freezes Rwandan military assets in the US and criminalizes financial transactions with their top brass. For Rwanda, which has enjoyed decades of close Western support, this is a grave diplomatic setback, a signal that even the closest of allies are not immune to penalties when the regional stability and the flow of strategic resources is at stake. As global powers clash, the Republic of Somaliland is busy building the legal framework of a modern state. In Hargeisa, the House Committee on Foreign Affairs convened a high-level meeting to refine the Diplomatic Missions Act, a piece of legislation that will define how Somaliland engages with the world. Acting Speaker Said Mere Farah framed this session as a vital step toward creating a diplomatic framework that is both modern and internationally compliant. This is far more than a routine committee meeting. It is a strategic effort to professionalize Somaliland's global presence following its landmark recognition by Israel. By bringing together veteran diplomats and legal scholars, the House is working to ensure that Somaliland's missions abroad operate with the same privileges, immunities and protocol as any established nation. This consultative process is designed to bake international norms into the very fabric of Somaliland's law, providing a clear professional roadmap for its new ambassadors. As these amendments move toward a final vote, it is clear that Somaliland is not just seeking a place on the world stage, it is meticulously preparing the rules by which it will play. Finally, in Zimbabwe, a different kind of transition is taking place as the government began the mass release of over 4,000 inmates under presidential amnesty. The move is officially intended to ease the hazardous overcrowding in the country's prisons, which held over 24,000 people last year only. At Harare Central Prison, the atmosphere was a mix of relief and celebration as men swapped orange uniforms for civilian clothes, with some even chanting in praise of President Emmerson Mnangagwa. However, beneath the scenes of national compassion, many observers are viewing this move with deep distrust. The amnesty was announced on the same day the cabinet approved constitutional changes that would allow President Mnangagwa to extend his term until 2030 and grant Parliament the power to choose the president. Opposition figures have branded these changes as a constitutional coup, noting that the amnesty pointedly excludes those detained for protesting or political opposition. While the freed inmates look toward a fresh start, the nation remains locked in a tense debate over whether these legal maneuvers are a genuine act of restorative justice or a calculated effort to secure political legitimacy ahead of a controversial extension of power. And that is our report for this evening. From the front lines in Beirut to the legislative halls of Hargeisa, the stories of our continent continue to unfold with speed and significance. Remember to follow KOW TV on all our digital platforms and keep the conversation going. My name is Maurice Mbugua, and thank you for watching Africa Focus.